guys, welcome back to Scott Family Homestead. I'm so happy you're here. Today I'm going to do a little grocery haul for you. I just got home with my Azure Standard order. We're going to talk a little bit about Azure Standard. I know I've covered this before on my channel, but I want to show you some of the things that I got this month in time for holiday baking and things that we have started to purchase organic and in bulk. I always recommend starting slow. If you have the ability to go out and change how you are buying your groceries and buy bulk in multiple products at once, that is awesome. But a lot of people don't have the ability to do that immediately, and so they sort of start to switch things over bit by bit. That's the journey that we've been on. We now buy a lot of our groceries from Azure, and we can do that within our budget because we have stopped buying a lot of stuff locally. We grow most of our own food, and we've kind of transitioned to these groceries rather than purchasing from our local stores. So I'm going to show you what we got today. This is a pretty big stock up for me on a couple of items, and we'll talk all about Azure Standard and how all of this works if you are interested in getting started. I've gotten a lot of questions about Azure Standard and how it works, how to get started, and all the details on that. And so I actually did put together a frequently asked questions blog post, and I will link that in the description, that covers all the questions that you might have, or you can ask questions on that post as well, and I will do my best to answer them for you. Azure Standard allows you to order organic, bulk, or smaller quantities depending on what you are looking for your family, and it gets delivered to drop sites throughout the country and throughout your state. So in Wisconsin here, we've got several close to us. The one I've been going to is about an hour away. We recently got a new one that's only about 30 minutes away from me, so this is a little bit more convenient. That's what we did today. Basically, everybody from that area places their order by a deadline date. They load up the truck and ship your items, and it shows up in a large truck, a designated space for an Azure pickup. A lot of times it's parking lots of churches or parks, and everybody helps unload the truck with all of the orders, and then you take your items and go home. So today I picked up these items. I'm going to show you some of my favorite things to buy. Starting with these jars. So I searched high and low for a long time for gallon-sized jars, and they are not cheap. But I did find Azure had the best price. So compared to Amazon or like Uline has a good price on jars when you pay a crazy amount of shipping. So these are the nice gallon-sized jars. They do not come with lids. You have to buy the lids separate. Unfortunately, right now they are sold out and I wasn't able to get the lids, but I do already have some nice metal lids. We use these for our milk. So after we milk Lorelei, then we strain the milk into these gallon jars. We put it into the fridge and it cools down quickly. Little side note on the milking and milk storage, you have to keep your raw milk very cold. And so we actually now have a designated milk fridge. And this helps because in our normal fridge, the kids are opening and closing the doors all the time, and our milk wasn't lasting nearly as long. But since switching to keeping it into a separate milk fridge, it stays really nice and cool. That helps. The other thing that helps is milking in a very cold barn. We're milking into stainless steel buckets that are sitting on cold concrete. So that helps with keeping our milk fresh. But this is how we like to store our milk. We do use half-gallon jars occasionally, but typically this is what we're going to use. So this is my second box of gallon jars that I have ordered because sometimes we do have more than 4 gallons that need to be stored. Okay. I talked about this in a previous video, but we buy this salted butter, and I buy it in a 12-pack. These do not come in your standard butter stick. They come in an 8-ounce, which is the equivalent of 2 of your normal grocery store sticks. I like this because it is an organic option. I do not have available to me otherwise. I do make a lot of butter, but we also calf share. And this time of year, we are calf sharing, and we get very little cream. With each gallon jar, we get maybe an inch, inch and a half of cream on the top. And so that doesn't go very far for making all the things. So we have started ordering the butter from Azure from this brand. We also buy cheese from this brand. You'll see that in a little bit. This is the grass-fed European style sea salted butter. I love it. It is so good. So different from what we were buying, which was just the Great Value Walmart brand butter. And with all of our holiday baking coming up, it's going to get put to good use. I actually just ran out the other day from our last batch that we bought. One of the things that we do have here but is quite expensive, one of our grocery stores has an organic section and sells some of these things. But I love these late July chips, and they are not super cheap. But I buy them in a 3-pack from Azure, and it's cheaper than what I can get them locally. So our kids like the tortilla chips, and we're buying not so great quality to avoid the price of what it costs. But I have found that if I order 3 bags of these, it lasts us a month just fine. I did order 1 individual pack, and it was packed with other items. Last time I ordered the lime flavored ones, and I wanted to just try them, so I got 1, and because I got packed with other stuff, I did have some broken. It was squished. But the kids don't really mind, so it was okay. But beware, if you're buying something like chips, it might arrive in the little pieces. Okay, I have another project coming up that I bought this next item for, and that is dried orange slices. So I am working on making some simmer pot packages for Christmas gifts, and we will offer some for sale as well. And I wanted a good option for this. I could go out and buy oranges and then freeze dry them, but this is going to take way less time. This is one of those things that it's not worth me doing it myself. I'm going to freeze dry the cranberries because those are local grown cranberries. The Azure truck is refrigerated, but you will notice on your boxes they will tell you if you need to chill or freeze something in that box. So this box has some pantry items in it, but it also says 1 chill. And so when you pick up your order, you know what you need to keep cold on the way home or once you get home. Okay, I needed to restock on parchment paper. I use this in my freeze dryer and my baking and all kinds of stuff. I don't love the teeth for where you tear it off on these boxes, so if you have a better way to store them, that is helpful. They have just the tiniest little not so sharp teeth on here, so they do tear sometimes. But I buy this in a 3-pack, and I do like them. The brand is If You Care. And I also get their cheesecloth. I don't use a lot of cheesecloth. I prefer to use just like a funnel with a filter for a lot of things, but sometimes you just need some cheesecloth, so I do order that from there. These will last me probably, the parchment paper and the cheesecloth probably last a year, so I won't be ordering those super often. Alright, this one's a new one for me, and that is ground coffee. So I decided to try the Azure medium roast coffee. This is a little bit more expensive than what I'm currently buying, which is Caribou coffee. We get it ground from Walmart. This is not that much more expensive, and it's organic. I'm gonna give it a try. I went ahead and bought it in bulk, so I hope we like it. But the cost on pretty much everything is gonna come down if you buy in bulk. So we're gonna give it a try. We'll see if we like it. I would like to switch over to organic coffee if possible. All right, to go along with our orange slices, I also bought a whole bunch of cinnamon sticks. We will use these ourselves, and I'm gonna put them in our simmer pot batches that we have coming up. They had 2 different options. They have an organic one or a non-organic. I did not spend the extra money for the organic because we're just gonna be boiling these in a pot. So. All right, this is my refrigerated item that was in here, and that is a giant block of cheese. I talked about this in a previous video. We really like to buy the Rumiano cheese. I usually get 10 pounds at a time with the cheddar. This one is smoked cheddar. My kids love it. It's pretty expensive, so I don't buy it super often. But I thought for the holidays, with little cheese trays and different things that we'll have for events, that it would be worth it to spring for the smoked cheddar. My kids have seriously been asking for this for months. Every time I order from Azure, can we get some smoked cheddar? They love it. What I'll end up doing is chopping this up and repackaging a lot of it for the freezer, and we'll pull out like 8 ounces at a time. Also for the kids, I got some hot chocolate to try. We have not tried this one before. One project that I'd really like to try is using our freeze-dried milk plus an organic cocoa powder and cane sugar and make our own. But my kids, they love hot chocolate. We go through a lot of hot chocolate around here. And I wanted to try something a little bit better than Swiss Miss. We're gonna try this and see how we like it. This is a fair trade cocoa. I did try to buy some small candy canes, but they didn't have the little ones. They did have the big blue raspberry ones, and we're gonna try these. So these are organic candy canes. I didn't even know they had such a thing. They've got a very light blue color to them. I don't know if you can see it there, but they have no artificial dyes, and so I thought we'd give this a try. Obviously they are still sugar with added sugars, but a little bit different than what you can get at the store. And then for them, I also got the yogurt covered raisins to try. I've got 2 kids that take cold lunch to school every day, and I like to try to have something to put in there. These will last a while, and it's a nice little treat for them. That's something that we don't normally have. My last item that I got, and I only buy this once a year, if that, and that is avocado oil. We use avocado oil for a lot of things. We use it for frying, anything that we don't want to have that lard flavoring, because we do use a lot of lard for frying. But there's certain things like when we do donuts or anything like that, which is pretty rare, but when we do that, we want to fry in something that doesn't have a strong flavor to it. I use avocado oil as my general cooking oil. And then I also use this to season all of my cast iron. So the cook stove, all my cast iron pans, every time I wash one of those up, I then re-season it with avocado oil. And so this has replaced all the seed oils and all the vegetable oils, everything like that has been replaced by this. It will last me a very long time. I just keep a small bottle on my counter that I use for cooking, and then I keep this in my pantry to refill. And I've never had it go bad on me, keeping it for a year at a time. And so I'm just gonna continue using this. We really like it. So that is what I got this month. Oh, I did get one more thing. I almost forgot. I got my big bag over here. Is 25 pounds of organic flour. And this is just their all-purpose unbleached organic flour. I'll throw this in the freezer until it's time for us to use it. I keep a pretty large container on the counter of flour that I use every week. I keep a 5-gallon bucket with a gamma lid in the pantry full of flour. That takes about 1 of these bags. So that one's about half full right now. And then I keep another bag in the freezer ready to go. This is one item that sometimes they're sold out of. So if I need it, I try to keep an extra bag around just in case. So I kind of keep this rotation of it. And I buy the 25 pounds at a time. So that will go in the freezer until my 5-gallon bucket is ready to be refilled. Once I put this one in the bucket, I'll order a new one from Azure for that month's shipment. So we do once a month shopping with Azure, but you can do less than that. You could order every other month or a couple times a year. You can do one big order, you can do smaller orders. It is totally up to you. You do pay shipping on Azure orders. If you have it shipped direct to you, it's very expensive. But if you are sharing the shipping with a drop, then it is much more reasonable. but you do pay a shipping fee. There's also a fee if you use credit cards on their website. You can bypass that if you enter a checking account information, which is essentially the same as writing a check. And so we do that to avoid that fee as well. So I have found, even with the shipping, things end up being a lot cheaper than what I can get around here. If you live in an area where you have a lot of organic options and organic stores, you might want to price things out and just see how it is for you. For me, the convenience of if I'm going to order my flour there in bulk or sugar, I do oats, a lot of things in 25-pound batches, it's worth it to me to order my other organic groceries from there as well. And then we supplement with just our regular grocery stores in town. We don't eat everything organic. We're not perfect and really don't strive to be. We're just trying to replace ingredients here and there as we can with better options. And Azure has made that possible for us. So we really enjoy it. I am an Azure Standard affiliate. And so if you use my link to sign up for an account and place an order, I do get a small kickback for that. As you know, I am only affiliates for companies that I believe in, that are improving access to better options and better foods for us. So this is a company I believe in and stand by. And if you have any questions, you can ask me at any time. You can leave questions in the comments. You can message me, email me. We're on Facebook and Instagram, all the different places. So if you have some questions or need some advice or need help getting started, you can reach out to me at any time. So thank you for hanging out with me and seeing our grocery haul this time. So glad that you guys are here. Make sure you are subscribed and you click that bell so you get notified when we post new videos. We have lots of farm videos to come. We are farming in the very cold winter of Wisconsin right now. We have a lot of challenges coming up that we hope to document and things that we have kind of learned along the way for dealing with this cold weather and many other things to come. So anyways, thank you so much for being here. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye guys.